everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and I recently did a video about habits that destroy relationships. So I wanted to, of course, take a look at the flip side here and discuss some habits that build healthy and secure relationships. So these are habits and skills to work on when you're single as well. So these can really apply to absolutely everyone. And by everyone, I do mean single, dating, in a relationship, both men and women, quite literally everyone. So let's get into it. So the first one here is following through, the habit of following through. So have integrity, be reliable, transparent, and honest. Keep the promises you make to your significant other, but also to yourself. If you say that you're going to do something, do it. Keeping the promises you make to yourself is a really great way to work on this skill and just improve in this area altogether, especially when it comes to keeping promises to other people. But it really starts with you. This is also a really great way to build confidence. By keeping the promises that you make to yourself, you're teaching yourself that you're capable, and capability and skill help to build confidence. Part of this is also being honest with yourself and knowing when to say no, knowing when you can't keep a promise, so you don't make it. But by following through and really getting into this habit, you're building trust. You're showing people that they can rely on you, and ultimately, being a better you can lead to being a better partner in your romantic relationships as well. I think being a man or a woman with integrity is really important, and this act of following through is really going to strengthen your romantic relationships, but also the relationship that you have with yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your capability and your productivity, and ultimately, again, like I mentioned, this is going to really build confidence within yourself that's going to reflect into your romantic relationships as well. And while we're on the topic of healthy relationships, big thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Regardless of if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or if you're going through a hard time, therapy can give you the tools that will help. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, which is an important mission because finding a therapist can be really difficult, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link down in my description, and clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gets you 10% off of your first month of BetterHelp. So you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, if you don't really fit with that therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a different therapist for free without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Get 10% off of your first month at betterhelp.com/Courtney Ryan. That's betterhelp.com/Courtney Ryan. And I've also linked them down below in the description for you guys. The next habit is direct communication. So instead of making assumptions about your significant other's feelings or expecting them to be a mind reader for your own, communicating your wants and needs directly helps build healthy relationships. You might be wondering why? Well, because effective communication is crucial. Also, a little saying here that has stuck with me for my entire life. I believe my history teacher in 7th grade said this to our class. Whether it was appropriate, I don't really know, but it's helped me a lot in life. The saying is, when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. And that right there speaks for itself. But direct communication is a sign that you're comfortable opening up and asking for things from your partner. It's a sign that you feel safe within your relationship, which is obviously healthy. So many people expect their significant other to just know what they want or need all the time. Expecting your partner to be a mind reader isn't productive for you or the person that you're with, and it's a breeding ground for conflict, disappointment, and resentment. We cannot possibly be expected to live up to the standards or expectations that someone sets for us in their head but fails to communicate directly to us. If you want or need something, ask for it. Also, being able to understand when you're being realistic is a different story here, but certainly a valuable trait as well. Some things to think about here coming away from the video. Do I directly communicate my wants and needs to my significant other? And do I allow my partner to express and communicate their wants and needs to me in a safe way? Also, something to keep in mind throughout this video, all of these habits to start getting into, again, like I mentioned, are things that you should be practicing when you're single because they can help you in far more ways than just your romantic relationships. These can help your relationships at work, your relationships with your family and your friends. So even if you're someone who's not in a romantic relationship right now, I think it's really important to start practicing these and getting into the habit of doing these things for your own individual benefit. My next one here is one of the most important of all, and that is self-regulation. How do you handle big emotions? Now, conflict is inevitable, okay? You're probably going to argue with someone that you love at some point in your life, but learning how to resolve conflict in a productive and healthy way can really help. And the ability to self-regulate plays an important role here. How you respond and react speaks volumes of your character and your emotional maturity. This is such a powerful skill that could change lives and relationships everywhere. So if you don't listen to anything else on this list, listen to this one. An example here is if you're angry, self-regulation might look like pausing until you're able to think clearly so that you can respond in a rational way instead of just lashing out or reacting. If you're overwhelmed, self-regulation might look like taking some deep breaths, practicing breath work, and/or making a list of what you need to get done in order to prioritize and see the actions that you need to take. Being able to regulate your emotions and respond and react in a healthy and productive way will change your life and the people's lives around you. And this is something that you're just going to have to actively work on, right? Because all kinds of new challenges or conflicts are going to bring out parts of you that you've never really confronted before, especially romantic relationships. I think they often reveal maybe the kind of uglier parts of ourselves that we need to heal and work on. But just the act of practicing this and being mindful of it is a great place to start. The next habit is setting goals and supporting each other because you're a team. What are your significant other's individual goals or dreams, and how can you help them achieve it? On the flip side, what are your goals and dreams, and how can your significant other help you achieve them? I think the simple act of showing interest in your partner's goals and dreams speaks volumes. I think being interested and showing support is one of the greatest ways to strengthen your relationship and just be a good partner. It's important to have individual goals that you encourage and support each other for, but also goals as a couple. Setting goals together allows you to establish a shared vision for your future. It helps make sure you're on the same page and working towards a common purpose. Discussing your individual goals and desires together fosters a really deep understanding of each other's needs, values, and aspirations. This is going to strengthen your relationship because it allows you to both be vulnerable and really share your authentic self. You know what they say? Teamwork makes the dream work. This is going to allow you to pool your strengths, your skills, and resources to overcome challenges and achieve success together. Nothing creates togetherness and unity quite like achieving your goals together, in my opinion. And the last habit is showing appreciation and empathy. In a relationship, many people slip into the habit of focusing on the negatives, being overly critical, pointing out flaws and nitpicking rather than focusing on the positives and showing appreciation or giving affirmations to your significant other. Doing the latter here is how you build a healthy relationship that fosters growth, trust, and ultimately is more fulfilling. Now, don't get me wrong, constructive criticism is necessary too, but we want to make sure that we're actually being constructive. If someone is consistently expressing criticism without providing any affirmations or positive feedback, it can indicate a really negative or unhealthy communication pattern. Healthy relationships, on the other hand, thrive on support, understanding, and acceptance rather than constant criticism. Compliments, affirmations, and empathy can show that you believe in someone or you trust them, that you desire them, that you find them attractive, that you acknowledge their efforts and hard work, that you respect them. I mean, I could really go on and on. I think this is a crucial element that is missing in so many long-term relationships. So guys, that's all I have for 5 habits that build secure and healthy relationships. If you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Let me know what other habits you think build healthy relationships. What are some things you practice in your relationships? What are some things that have helped you have a better relationship with yourself and really build your confidence? I would just love to hear all of your personal stories and experiences down in the comments. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.